Good morning, everybody. Buenos dias, muchachos y muchachas. Let's practice today's date to begin our lesson. Hoy es el, follow along with me, ready? 11 de mayo, año 2020. Muy bien, muchachos. I want to begin by wishing everybody had a really good weekend. It was Mother's Day this weekend, so shout out to all las mamás. Okay, feliz Día de la Madre para todas las mamás. And I hope you guys were able to spend time with the family, have a good time, catch up on your work. So, before we begin the lesson today, I want to just go over what the schedule is going to look like for the rest of the week. So I just want to pull up my calendar really quickly and I'll give you a quick overview of what to look for. So today is the 11th. Today we're going to continue working on learning that vocabulary for la casa, the house. So as you know, on Friday we began that vocabulary. Today we're going to do a review with the interactive version of the textbook. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be giving you exit ticket, the first exit ticket for this chapter. It's going to include the vocabulary from La Familia and La Casa. So I will have more information tomorrow morning so that you can study before you take your exit ticket. Okay? But basically, today review of La Casa. Tomorrow you have the exit ticket that covers the vocabulary. On Wednesday, it's your flex day. On the 14th, which is on Thursday, we are going to begin the grammar portion of this chapter. So I believe we're going to look at it. What is it? A verb. We're going to look at a verb, the verb tener, to have, and we're going to be working on that on Thursday and Friday. Next, the following week, you should expect to wrap up this chapter, and we will be taking our second summative on the 22nd. Only worry for this week, I will give these directions again next week so that you know what to look for. And I will write it down on the stream so that you have the dates as well. So for this week, just know that we're going to be reviewing chapter 2. You're taking an exit ticket on Tuesday, and then we're going to begin the verb on the 14th and the 15th. Okay? I'll have more information next week about the test. But for today, let's see, our objectives are students will be able to review vocabulary from chapter 2, La Casa. You're due now. Hopefully you enjoyed the last week's do later when I had you go around and name the objects around in the house. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of practice using the words and trying to understand which is which. And for this lesson, you have a do now, which is just to pull up the chapter 2 vocabulary notes so that when we go over the lesson, you have your words next to you. For those of you that forgot the vocabulary notes, I posted those earlier in the week, and you should have them with you. They're right over here. You have your vocabulary, and your vocabulary notes are right over here on May 4th. So we are also going to be practicing using a Quizlet. So after you watch today's video, I would like you to look at this Quizlet that I'm going to be posting. It's a very short Quizlet because I want to make sure that you guys are practicing the rooms of the house. That is the most important thing in this chapter. So this Quizlet's very straightforward. It has the 9 vocabulary words for the different rooms of the house. There is, I believe, one extra one, but you can always just remember that you can do the games and stuff to practice as well. This one I do want you to do. And for those of you that are always looking for extra work, which I don't mind, that's for you, I do have a coloring activity for you. It's just an outline of a house. It would be good for you to practice the rooms of the house. So what you can do is, if you have a printer, you can print this out, color it, and as you're coloring each room, you can just label it, okay? Like, for example, this would be el cuarto, el baño, okay? This one you have to make the dining room because I couldn't find one with the dining room. So this one you have to turn into the dining room. But then you have the other ones, okay? And you can just, if you're looking for something to do, a little extra work, it is optional. as I mentioned here. So it's up to you, okay? All right, let's dive into the lesson and let's go on from there. So, this is chapter 2. I'm going to give you a little pausing point so you can pull up your notes like in the do now. So remember, you can pause the video, get your notes ready, and then we'll go over it. Ready? Pausing point. All right. And we're back, muchachos. So we're talking about la casa, the house, y los cuartos, the rooms of the house. So here we see an outline of what a typical house looks like. We have the main entrance. So let's just go over the different rooms, okay? So I want you to look at your notes. I'm going to go over to the bathroom. How do you say bathroom in Spanish? Ready? Pausing point. The way you say bathroom in Spanish is, repeat after me. Ready? Baño. Baño. Very good. So remember that this textbook likes to give you the full name. It says the room of the bath. Okay. But remember, we're trying to keep things simple and I'm trying to give you some real world application to these words. So when you are speaking in Spanish or you are talking to someone that speaks in Spanish, you just want to say el baño. Okay. Just baño is the word for bathroom and el baño is the bathroom. So ready? El baño. Very good. Now let's move on to the living room. How do you say living room in Spanish? Pausing point. Okay. If you said sala or la sala, you are correct. Let's take a look. You can see here that the way they just said it is the same way that I gave it to you. La sala. Okay. Let's practice. Ready? La sala. Bonus question. What gender is living room in Spanish? Is it a feminine word or a masculine word? It is a feminine word. Why? Because it ends with the A. Good. La sala. So we have, let's practice. El baño, la sala. Very good. Now, this is supposed to be a bedroom, okay? You can kind of see that it's a bedroom because of the dresser and the mirror here, the little rug. So how do you say bedroom in Spanish? Pausing point. Okay, for this one, if you remember, there are multiple ways to say bedroom. So if you said any of the following, you are correct. Ready? We have el cuarto, la recámara, el dormitorio, la alcoba, and last but not least, la habitación. So if you said any of those, and if you remember from the last lesson, there are multiple ways of saying bedroom, you're correct, okay? Most of those are feminine, except for the word cuarto. Remember that cuarto means room, okay? That's why this is la casa y los cuartos, the house and the rooms. Notice the S makes it plural. But here, when you say the room, okay, you can omit this last part here, just like we omit this part here for the bathroom. When you just say the room in Spanish, real world application, you're talking about the bedroom. Every single other room of the house has a specific name. When you just say the room or I'm going to the room, voy al baño. I'm sorry, al baño. Voy al cuarto. Everybody knows you're talking about the bedroom. Okay, so let's practice. El baño, la sala, el cuarto. Muy bien, muchachos. The next one, everybody's favorite place to hang out, the kitchen, right? How do you say kitchen in Spanish? Pausing point. Okay. If you said la cocina, you are correct, or cocina. Let's practice. Ready? Cocina. That's how you say kitchen in Spanish. La cocina. Now, last but not least, we have the dining room. How do you say the dining room in Spanish? Pausing point. El comedor. Very good. El comedor. Muy bien, muchachos. Okay. As you know, these are the rooms of the house. This is the most important part of this vocabulary for this chapter. If you know your family members and you know these 5 rooms, you are looking good for this chapter's test. That's going to be next week, okay? Also, just for additional vocabulary, let's talk about some objects that we looked at last lesson. So here we have a little moving truck. Let's see what's in the moving truck. Let's see. Boom. We have, how do you say this in Spanish? How do you say chair in Spanish? Pausing point. Silla or la silla. Muy bien. Next, we have, how do you say bed in Spanish? La cama. Okay, we have la silla, la cama. Aha. Now, this is a big table or a little table? Looks like a big table, right? See if you can remember how to say table. Just regular word for table. Pausing point. Big table is mesa, or just a regular word for table is mesa. Now, challenge question. How do you say little table? Like this one right over here. If you said mesita, you are correct. Let's look at the spelling really quick. If you look at the word on the left, it says la mesa. That's regular table. And then mesita with an ITA. Little cute table. Okay. And how do you say sofa? Oh, come on. This is the easiest one. Sofa. Sofa. The same thing with an accent over the A. All right. Now, something curious about this word. Notice how, even though it ends in an A, look at the definite article. It's a masculine singular definite article. So this is one of those words, sofa, and the other example is the word for hand, mano, where you have a masculine definite article with a feminine word. This is one of those exceptions, okay? Every other one is going to follow the rule. This is just an exception here. And how do you say lamp in Spanish? It's another cognate. Lámpara. Very good. You see the word lamp with an accent over the A, and the ending is a little different. Okay, so those are our objects. As you can see, the review, very straightforward, very simple, because this is the most important part. Those 5 rooms right here. Okay, the objects, not so much. This is just like extra vocab, but remember these 5, okay? As always, if you need to practice again, you can go back, you can rewind the video, you can follow along with me as I say the words, and you can always just rewind if you want a little extra practice, okay? Let's continue. Now, here, I'm just going to ask you to tell me what the rooms are as extra practice, and then we'll just write it down, okay? So, number 1, what do you see through this window? Pausing point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What did you guess? If you said el cuarto, el dormitorio, la recámara, la habitación, you are correct. So let's write those down really quickly. El cuarto. Okay. La recámara. Now notice my spelling, okay? El dormitorio. Remember that in the assessments, you don't have to worry too much about the spelling, but I do ask that you try your best, okay? If you're way off, I do have to mark it wrong. So just make sure you're looking at your spelling of these words, okay? If you're in doubt, go with the easiest one, el cuarto. That's the most common way to say room. All right, so you have el cuarto, la recámara, el dormitorio, la alcoba, and la habitación. For number 2, what room of the house is behind window number 2? Pausing point. Let's see. El baño, okay? Now notice how I'm going to spell el baño, all right? It's just el and then baño. Can't do my little accent over the I can't do my squiggly here, but just know that it should look like that with a little squiggly over the end. If you can't do that on the assessments, do not worry about it, okay? You kind of have to have the Spanish spell check thing active in order to do it. I think I can add some accents here, and I just noticed. Okay, number 3. What is behind window number 3? Take a guess. Pausing point. It is la sala. Number 4. Let's see what you got. What's behind window number 4? Pausing point. La cocina. Muy bien. La cocina. And I'm really hoping you guys are trying to pronounce these after me. Remember, the best way you're going to practice these words is just to try to say them, okay? You can always rewind the video and hear how I say the words, okay? Okay. And last but not least, what is this right here? This room behind this window. Pausing point. It should be el comedor, okay? El comedor. So we have el cuarto, la sala. Let's go in order. El cuarto, el baño, la sala, la cocina, el comedor. You're responsible for these 5, guys. Okay? And I believe we are at the end of today's lesson. That was it, guys. So, again, what you want to do now is, now that you're done with the lesson, make sure you look at this Quizlet that I'm going to post. After you do the Quizlet, about 5 to 10 minutes, take a look at the words. You can play the games. If you decide to do the coloring sheet, remember it is optional. Go ahead and do it. Make sure you label these so that you're practicing the words as well. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to me. My office hours begin in 2 minutes, and just send me an email, okay? Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Que tengan buen día. I do miss you guys, los extraño. Pero que tengan buena semana, okay? Nos estamos viendo. Hasta luego, muchachos. Have a good day. Ciao.